All right, you guys, so hopefully you watched the last video of how to alter photos when they're black and white. So in this one, I'm going to show you a little bit of what you can do if your photo is in color. So like I did before, I am going to select my photo. All right, so here it is again, same photo. Just like with adjusting the images in black and white, you're going to go Image, Adjustments. But instead of desaturating it, we're going to keep it in color. The first thing I always like to do, and I think I said this in the black and white video, is I like to adjust the brightness and contrast first, because sometimes, y'all, that's all it needs is just a little pop with the brightness and the contrast. Okay, I like pretty high contrast photos, so I usually bring my contrast up a lot. I don't like it to be so washed out. So I usually try to bring my contrast up. You can adjust your brightness sometimes to kind of balance that out. I like to check back and forth between what my image looks like now and what it looked like before. So I kind of toggle back between the preview. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I definitely am getting like a much more vibrant image. So I like where this is headed. So I am gonna click OK. So that is just a quick way you can alter your photos. I'm gonna go back now, Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go Hue and Saturation. All right, so this is where you can kind of get a little crazy with your colors. So saturation, you guys can probably guess, if we desaturated our image to make it black and white, saturation is either going to do the same thing. If we go minus 100, it's going to get more closer to black and white. And on the reverse, if you go the other way, you're going to get crazy vibrant colors, all right? So I'm going to just keep it pretty much how it is. Again, you guys can toggle back and forth so you can see like there's not really a difference on that one. Lightness kind of gives you guys like an overall white haze or dark haze over your photo. So I usually kind of don't mess around with that. And then here's where you can kind of get a little crazy and a little fun with it. Hue. Okay, so hue, we're kind of talking about the color. So if you're adjusting the hue, you can get kind of surreal alternate colors in your photo. Okay, so maybe this is something that you want to go for. You're kind of channeling, if we think back to our photography madness, our inner Sandy Scoglin, she had the green room with the blue dogs. So maybe you want kind of some like trippy look. That is the way that you can do that. You can toggle back and forth between preview to see if you like what the heck is happening. If you mess around with this and you're like, whoa, I don't like it, and you're having trouble getting it back, all you need to do is you can click reset, starts it fresh for you if you want to keep playing around. Or just exit out instead of clicking OK. All right, so those are two things you can do. Make black and white, and then also adjusting the color. All right, when you're done and you're satisfied with your image, you guys need to make sure you save it. Okay, so if we go File, Save As, we can do a Photoshop document. So we're gonna go Save As, Photoshop document. So that gives us the same thing that we did before in class when we had the Photoshop document, but you can also do export as, and you can click export as a JPG, a JPEG, okay? So remember in class we talked about, if you think back to the first time we did Photoshop, a Photoshop document, if I were to open it back up, I could open it in here. I could continue to edit it. I could go back. I could keep working, okay? If I saved it as a JPEG, that's not a workable document. It's like a screenshot, okay? So when you're done, you might want to save it both ways, okay? That's usually what I do. We'll just up our quality, get it real nice if it wants to. All right, 71% it is. My internet is not great, so this might take a second. Photopea is just gonna go as fast or as slow as your internet is. Okay, so my quality bumped up. And I click save, and I'm totally one of those people that wants to click save a million times, even though I know the computer's thinking. I can hear it thinking. So I'm just gonna try to be patient. I'm holding my hand back away from the keyboard, away from the mouse, giving it a second. Saved. Okay, so they're down here. What you can do when they're down in your little downloads bar, if you click the arrow, you can open it. And then what y'all can do, oops, he's out of the screen. What you guys can do is click these three little dots and click save as, and then you can put it somewhere where you know where it's gonna be. So I'm gonna go to my desktop, I'm gonna go to my quarantine photos, and I can save this. I'm gonna call this glove edit, okay? Because it's a picture where the glove is most prominent and it's the one I edited. So I'm just gonna save it. If I was gonna save this to turn in, I would call it Mahoney glove edit, okay? That way it's easier for me when I'm looking at all, well, you shouldn't call it Mahoney, you should call it your own last name, okay? But that way it's easier for me just to kind of keep track of everyone's photos. And now I know where I put it, desktop, quarantine photos, and I can click save. All right, so that is kind of the nitty gritty with Photopea.